G'day everyone, I'm Jazza and we're gonna around with artificial intelligence today, specifically using DALL-E 2. This is the most advanced text to visuals artificial intelligence that exists, and I have used it before in a video that will come out in a few weeks' time because I actually pitted DALL-E against real artists on Fiverr. But this video is a little bit different because I actually came across something on the private DALL-E Discord that really tickled my imagination. Specifically this post where it shows DALL-E had generated this image from two emojis, a boy's face and a rocket ship. Now before committing to recording this video, I had to experiment once or twice just to make sure it could do it before asking you what I should get it to try and turn emojis into art with. So I started off with this prompt, a smiling love heart eyes emoji with a rose and sparkles. As a result, it produced not only roses, but roses that look like they could be romantic Instagram pictures. So in my next prompt, I gave it 4 dinosaurs, and it produced a variety of dinosaur-based images. It didn't produce multiples of dinosaurs, except for in this piece where there are 2 dinosaurs visible, but separate to that, it interpreted the dinosaur emoji as literally a dinosaur. But then I got to thinking, let's face it, when people use the emoji of a dinosaur, they're usually just talking about dinosaurs. So as one last test, I thought I'd test DALL-E on a couple of emojis that were much more insinuating. I gave it a smiling love heart, a winky kissy face, and an eggplant. And I got flagged for inappropriate content. It teaches me that DALL-E is interpreting emojis in exactly the way that it's interpreting our words. I have opened up to you all on Twitter and asked you to reply with your own combinations of emojis that I'll try and turn into an artwork. I didn't tell you AI would be turning it into an artwork, and that's what's gonna happen in this video. To set the tone, I gave poop emoji a paint palette, an arrow pointing at a canvas. It gave me no. It made a poopy butt. This is gonna be so much fun. This one from Higimura has an owl, 2 people, a mountain, a Japanese gate, and a moon. I don't know, will it be a portrait of maybe 2 people getting married under the gate thing is sort of what I picture. Okay, so it's much more landscape focused. This is cool. We've got a mountain and a moon. And what is that? I don't know. This is so cool. This is like a super moody Japanese walkway in a forest. So it's doing some of it, it's trying. But one of the things that it's also doing that I'm less interested in is the photography element. I want it to produce artwork. So if I take the same prompt and write comma digital art, it gives me an error message. Let's try a different one. Scribblefix gave me strawberry, skull, and love heart. Let's try that with digital art. Oh, yes! Yeah, these are cool. So some of these, there you go, there's a good mix of strawberry and skull. I think the love heart eyes emoji is used to communicate cuteness more than anything. So I actually feel like in combination with asking for digital art, it's presented pieces that are constructed in a very cute aesthetic. Time Blink gave me a whale and a glass of milk. So what are you gonna do with that, DALL-E? Oh my God! This is a whale in pink milk. It's like a cow whale, because that's what? Oil. This one's getting political on us. That is visually clean and simple and stylistic and communicates to me both whale and milk. All right, so we're getting a little more complex here. Renee has given us a candle, knife, hammers, an easel, a feather, leading to a mind being blown. And it seems not all emojis work, and in this case, the feather emoji doesn't seem to work. Hammers palette turned into mind blown digital art. What? I mean, I don't know where those elements are. I think the trouble with this prompt in particular is each of these things are often used literally. Candle, knife, hammers, and palette in textual communication are used to communicate, well, except for knife. I think knife would probably often be used with threatening or spooky messages or tweets, which in combination with the mind-blown thing, I think goes with this sort of surreal, abstract, slightly haunted look. So it is interpreting more under the level stuff than the literal stuff, to be honest. Shelley has got lightning, a tornado, a horse running, and a bat. Whoa! and it gives us a literal combination of them all. This looks like it needs its own cinematic universe, you guys. It's the Storm Rider. That's who this is. This is the Storm Horse. These are incredibly good. Maybe it's associating the bat emoji with like Batman. Maybe people use the bat emoji more with like superhero contexts, which is how it's giving us something heroic. I find it interesting trying to reverse engineer to figure out what DALL-E was thinking about what we were thinking. Now I'm trying to figure out what DALL-E thinks we were thinking. Now Isaac has given us 4 emojis that I believe have pretty strong under the surface connotations. I think all of these 4 emojis, the angry swear face, the clown face, the smiley face, and the rose, all are used to underpin an extremity of emotion, and they're all very different. Yeah, it doesn't know. It doesn't know. Like, what the f is this? Ooh, that's almost like, that's like a surreal, like minimalist, almost slightly cubist line art of a person, maybe feeling emotions under the surface. I don't know. I feel like these could be in a gallery. Like, I'm standing in front of this piece thinking, what was DALL-E trying to communicate? And I hate to say it, but, and this may be a hot take here, I genuinely see DALL-E as an artist because it is expressing through the same means we use to express and in the same ways we use to express. I mean, what is intelligence but having learned from something and trying to replicate that? When we as artists create something, we create it with a whole lifetime of context, of visual inspiration, emotional experience, and skill that we then can convey something that we intend. DALL-E is doing exactly that, except it has more than a lifetime. It has all of our lifetimes worth of visual inspiration, emotional experience that we've already conveyed through text and art, and skill, which it has more of as an entity than any single artist that has ever lived. I just find this so compelling and interesting. This one's fun, by Liar. It's a turtle and sort of a speed smoke cloud thing. So again, a wide variety of visual styles. I guess he's cut off the leg of another turtle and is holding it under his arm. Sometimes you get these weird visual artifacts where it doesn't quite know how to place limbs, so it just gives you a couple more. I'm not quite understand. Oh, there you go. Yeah, so it is interpreting that almost as literal, well, as literal. That definitely took the prompt and created an artwork. This one could be fun and interesting. Leah gave us a clown, a scared face, a Japanese ogre, and a pumpkin. Give us some spooky digital art, DALL-E. And it's given us some spooky digital art. It's literally given us Halloween pieces. What I find interesting is it's given us fairly childish ones. I'm wondering if I get rid of the clown and if it's just horror face, demon face, and pumpkin. Oh yeah, they're still reasonably simple, but they are getting a little darker. Maybe it's the pumpkin. Maybe it's just that the pumpkin is associated with Halloween and more childlike textual communications. Let's keep it to scary face and Japanese ogre. This is one of the things I find most interesting about DALL-E is as you figure out how it works, you get better at asking it to produce something. And if I'm workshopping this and I'm wanting something spooky, it's not really got a lot to work with. But if I actually write scary digital art, then we're starting to get a little more creepypasta. Therefore, we could actually go to our original set of emojis, give it a genre, horror, and then comma, digital art. So just to recap, this was the original set of artworks produced with the clown, scared face, Japanese ogre, and pumpkin. Now we get horror digital art, and just by adding the word horror, we get, oh my God, that's so much more refined. Look at that, that is so cool. I love that. And I've just added one word to get closer to what I want. Now, obviously the point of using the emojis as the prompt is to get as much as possible out of as little as possible, or at least specifically out of just emojis. So I try and minimize how I use words, but I do find it interesting that the better you get at asking what you want, the better results you get. I think with all the hype DALL-E is causing, it's also causing a lot of conversation and even fear amongst artists who sort of think, oh, am I threatened here? The answer is yes, if you don't adapt or understand what's happening. People who understand how to make the most of DALL-E will be able to conjure pieces and ideas and themes that will not only in themselves be really impressive and that will become a skill set people will seek. I think people will also reserve their best tricks of how to create awesome artworks and create awesome prompts through DALL-E because it will become a trade secret how to get the best results of a certain style out of an AI tool like this. But then also the most talented and fearless artists who utilize DALL-E as a tool will be able to propel their own skills and their own success forward further than ever imagined by utilizing a tool like this. All right, I've blabbed a lot. I'm gonna do some more emoji prompts, but before I do, I just wanna point out the DALL-E 2 subreddit. There's some really great stuff that rises to the top here. Some are glitches that are quite funny. Some are just really aesthetically interesting and well produced. I mean, look at the wild difference between this, a prompt that produces a high resolution image, a portrait of a man, they describe the man, and specify DSLR camera with a large sensor, deep shadows and highlights. They specify the f-stop, the ISO, the shutter speed, and add the classification Lightroom for an aesthetic kick, and they get that. And an image which conveys an emotional tone and never existed before it was produced by AI. If that doesn't blow your mind, I don't know what does, but I think it also highlights that the skill of the person who put this prompt together is a factor and is a skill, because there's a lot here about cameras, shutter speed, and photography that someone understands to know how to guide DALL-E the way they want. But then we have Cyberpunk Crow, and sometimes DALL-E just makes dope shit, because DALL-E is sick. Anyways, I'm getting distracted. J.O.'s art gave us one that, to me, speaks of like athletic and chill out, I guess. Okay, that's sort of cute. This has got a little more pizzazz to it. It's got like a super ripped hand, like that is a muscular person off into the corner there. There we go, we got someone weightlifting, a little more symbolic. I think it is struggling without style guides. By the way, DALL-E is not good at text. In my orientation into DALL-E, they told me that DALL-E spent all of their time in art school and failed their literacy exams. All right, fire, ice cream, and a boat. Whoa, these are cool. Like it's really giving us actually some pretty cool combinations of these, and all the elements are there. That's really interesting. It's also worth mentioning, and I'm reminded because the person who gave me the prompt is Vincent, that not only can you give a stylistic prompt, you can give a style prompt in the style of a specific artist like Vincent van Gogh. So same prompt, fire, ice cream, and boat in the style of Van Gogh. Look at that! And it does it. Same sort of creative thinking of the combination of those items, but the visual presentation is more akin to Starry Starry Night. It's actually the simplest ones, like Socket's prompt of a skateboard and a snake, that I have the most faith in. Oh my God, and look how it flourishes. That's a skateboarding snake, and it's an epic one too. That is a skateboarder and a giant snake on a skateboard. This is so good. Oh my God. Okay, what? Is that a butt? Is that someone like leant over with their butt in the air with no head and a snake? I have no idea what's happening, but it looks great. I love this one. DALL-E gave this snake some legs that turn into socks of the same pattern as its skin. It's wearing a hat on like its upper neck, and it's beautifully painted. Now I'll go into more detail in the video to come where I pit Fiverr against DALL-E. But you have options here where I can actually, if I like this one the best, I can select variations, and it can use its own produced artwork as a visual sort of pin. It's like something to anchor itself to give you more versions of something tonally similar. And look at that. It's giving us slightly different styles and slightly different poses, but overall the color scheme and the composition is largely the same because we've told it we like it. This one gives me 3 people, 3 horse emojis, and a unicorn. Oh my God, they're gorgeous. Oh my God. These are really, really nice. There's a real intelligence in the way that it's choosing styles, it's choosing what to include and what not to, because obviously I gave it more than it has decided is gonna be aesthetically pleasing to me. This one has gone with more of the horses, unicorn things and less of the people aesthetic, but it's sort of leaning into this starry composition. This one has given me less of the literal things I've asked for, but giving me more of what it has decided communicates not only a nice visual style, but the feel of as much of the thing I've asked for as is relevant. It's confused, I'm confusing it for sure, but at the same time, it's making choices, and its priority seems to be creating a visual that I want. It doesn't quite know how to do that, and it's trying a few different things, but let's say I like this one, give me variations in that. You know my original prompt. And look at that, it's done what I wanted. a central character surrounded by a lot of horses in this glowing golden sunlight. It's given us a variety of styles, some more simple and some more complex, but all of them feel similar, emotionally and aesthetically. I'm just so often left speechless with DALL-E because this is the dawning of a new era, and it's more compelling and exciting than I even expected, and I hoped it would be compelling and exciting, but it's beyond that. This is a new phase for artists. And I believe it's a bright new phase. I think this is going to lead to some incredible things being made. And yeah, the first people to be scared of a tool like this are artists who feel threatened when we work very hard on our craft and now we're being outdone by prompts that anyone can make. But what does that tell us? Two things. One, if you're an artist, rather than being scared, you should see this as the best possibility for you to get ahead of the curve and create stories no one else can imagine and things that people could be really compelled by. Two, to everyone who doesn't have an artistic bone in their body, they can't put a pencil to paper or a brush to canvas, now there is a huge barrier removed from your being able to create stunning and gorgeous, beautiful and evocative artworks. All you need to be really good at doing is communicating and shaping that. I think that's sort of where I want to leave this video. I could continue going into the emoji thing, but I think you get the point. The possibilities are really endless. And I, for one, am incredibly excited to see what we as a creative species can give DALL-E, an artificial intelligence we've created, to bring back and feed us more inspiration and stories and visuals that are just going to unlock parts of our imagination that we've never seen before. This really is the dawning of a new era, and I am very excited. So if you want to see more, please suggest in the comments what you would like to see me put DALL-E to the test with, be it more whimsical or trivial stuff, or how far we can push it. Subscribe, because I already have 2 other DALL-E videos in the works, but they're going to take a longer time to produce and I think be pretty compelling. And please consider liking this video, and all of the above, of course, helps the channel get some visibility and lets you see more of this content in future, because you're telling YouTube you know what you like, because it's an algorithm. Just like DALL-E, it understands what to do for you based on your input. Give us the input, comment, like, subscribe, and you'll get more of this. Thank you for your support and for watching this video, and until next time, I'll see you later.